What is going on, guys? This is Lior and welcome back to the channel. Now I am excited to give you guys another city overview. This time I'm in one of my hometowns, Newton, Massachusetts. I'm excited to talk to you guys. We'll talk all about lifestyle, what you can do here, what you can expect here, what it's like to live here, and of course the homes. So right now, as you can tell, I am standing in the Chestnut Hill Reservoir, probably one of my favorite spots in all of Newton. One of the cool things about Newton is there's so many options for outdoor space between all the parks, the reservations. When I used to live here in Newton, I would literally come here, do walks around this absolutely gorgeous area. If you guys don't know much about Newton, it is very, very well centrally located, very close to Boston. We're about 15-20 minutes away. You can easily get on there on the Pike. You've got amazing access for transportation. You can go on 95 north-south. You can hop on the Green Line. You can go on Sturrow Drive. It is honestly just a very, very well located suburb that's close to Boston and close to everything else. Now, beyond obviously being super well located, Newton is a lot more than that. You guys probably have heard of it. It's got probably one of the better school systems in all of Massachusetts and really across the country. It's been nationally recognized as one of the best school systems. Proud graduate right here. But there's also a ton of other things to do. Definitely a good amount of restaurants that you can go to. So it's got a really great lifestyle overall. So with that, we're gonna go explore other neighborhoods in the city. We're gonna hop over right into Newton Center. We'll talk a little bit more about the different neighborhoods here, what they feel like, as well as the amenities they offer. All right, so we just got into Newton Center. Now, in terms of how Newton's made of, there's 13 unique villages in Newton. Now, I think I can rattle all 13. I'll probably miss a couple, but as I said, there's Newton Center. And as you can kind of tell, this is a little bit more of a commercial vibe. There's restaurants and shops right here, but other pockets are certainly quieter. You have other pockets like Auburndale, Chestnut Hill, West Newton, Lower and Upper Falls, Oak Hill, Woburn, and I'm sure I'm missing a couple of others. I'll link them below. But the point is, they kind of each have a little bit of a different feeling. So Newton Center is a little bit more of the commercial side. You'll find more restaurants here, and you'll find more stuff to do, usually a little bit more activity. We'll take a walk shortly down to Piccadilly Square, which has got some kind of nice restaurants, some nice pubs. But of course, before we do that, one of the big things I wanted to talk to you guys about, which again has probably piqued your interest about Newton, is of course the school system. So as I said in the intro, the school systems is really what makes Newton Newton. It is renowned in Massachusetts, even across the country. I've heard people know about it. Everything from the elementary schools to the middle schools to the high schools are just absolutely very, very strong schools. They send a lot of kids off to some of the best schools across the country, of course, the Ivy Leagues and everything. As I said, I went there. I did 1 year in elementary school, and then did middle and high school there. If you're gonna be moving to Newton, it's probably because you have younger kids or kids already in school and you wanna put them in the school system. So this is definitely one of the cities to do so. Before we get into the outdoor space and everything, since we're in Newton Center, we might as well talk about the restaurants and that scene. There's a lot of really good places to go here. In Newton Center specifically, Newton is very Jewish, and they got two shops that are very much like that. They got Jake's Falafel, which is probably one of the better falafel stores I've had really in all the US. There's also a bakery called Galit's Bakery, kind of makes Israeli baked goods and all that. Really, really good. But of course, Newton also has a big Italian influence. So we got a lot of Italian restaurants. There's a new one that just opened up, Mita, in Newtonville, Olivia's Bistro. Plenty of American options as well. One of my favorite spots is Cook. Also in Newtonville, you've got diners and breakfast spots like Johnny's Luncheonette, which is right around the corner, the Naughty Pine in Auburndale. So really just a very wide selection, everything from more upscale restaurants to your basic diners. You've also got your Irish pubs. Dungarren's is my personal favorite. If you go there, make sure you get the eggplant fries. So across the spectrum, you have really nice combinations of everything from your bakeries, your shops, to your Italian restaurants, which makes living here and going out to restaurants really, really nice. So now that we talked about restaurants, let's talk about probably one of the, I think, hidden gems about Newton that a lot of people don't know, is that it's actually got incredible outdoor space. There's a reason why Newton is also referred to as the Garden City, and this is it. There's just So much amazing outdoor space, especially in the summers. You'll see so many people outside going around the parks, walking around the lakes, the ponds. For parks, for example, you know, we got some of my favorite parks. We've got Cabot Park, which is an amazing park right by the Cabot School. It's got the big fields, tennis courts. We've got Cold Springs Park, again, large fields, tennis courts. You can walk around. You can go to the high school complexes, right? So both Newton North and Newton South High School have large fields that you can use, tennis courts. There's just a lot of space to go outside and do activities. Outside of that too, we've also got a number of lakes and ponds. So we started the video over the Chestnut Hill Reservoir, which, as you guys saw, was really, really nice. Like I said, I've done so many walks there. This is another one of my favorite little gems here, Bellows Pond, right, kind of in Newtonville. Super cute, super nice, very quiet. And it's just an amazing place to go take a walk. Other places you might want to go to, you've got the Hammond Park Reservation. In the summers, you might go to Crystal Lake. When I was younger, I know we'd always go down there and take a swim. So it's a great place for younger kids and families. And you can, of course, take advantage of the Charles River, which goes right through Newton. And there's actually a couple of docks where you, in the summer, again, you can go rent some kayaks and just enjoy the water. Now, other things that might be important for you and your family, again, especially if you have kids, Newton is really amazing place to grow up. You know, for kids, we've got a number of things. We've got an amazing public library system here. The library that I used to go to, they would sometimes host events. It's really large. You know, it's just a great system. I'd go hang out there, read books when I was in middle school. There's a lot of different recreational activities going on in Newton. We've got Newton Parks and Rec, which does a ton of different classes for both kids and adults. I taught at the tennis programs in Newton Parks and Rec. They're a great program over there, but I know, you know, everyone growing up here does some sort of sports. We've got little leagues, and we've got football leagues for kids, and so on. So it's just, there's a lot of things that you and your kids can join and really take advantage here. And of course, in the summer too, like a lot of cities around Boston, we do have annual festivals, which are really fantastic. Again, you can come take advantage of them. We've got some carnival rides, you know, so it really just is a super inclusive community that's just, you know, with a lot going on. It's really, really amazing for families and everyone trying to enjoy the best of Newton. Finally, I should mention, since we are talking about things to do in Newton, it would be a sin of me if I didn't mention the shops at Chestnut Hill. You know, you got a lot of shopping there you can do, tons of restaurants there. You know, I know a lot of people tend to go out in that area. They've also got a movie theater, which is like a newer luxe movie theater with reclining seats. You can order alcohol there. So if you needed some time away from the kids, that's probably the spot you might want to go to. So yeah, again, there's just so much variation here in the restaurants, the outdoor space, the higher end shopping at the Chestnut Hill malls. And you've got other places you can check out, like the West Newton Cinema, which is kind of your more craft and independent films that you might not see at your typical movie theater. So again, just a little bit of everything here that just makes living here so fun and attractive. So now that we talked about all the things that you can do in Newton, which was quite the list, let's talk a little bit about homes and the real estate here. So as you probably know, or you could probably figure out based on the fact that the school systems here are amazing, the proximity to Boston, there's so much going on. Yes, Newton is a very, very expensive place to live in. You can certainly find single families under $1 million. They're probably gonna be on the smaller side, probably gonna be older, probably gonna need updating, but certainly possible to find stuff from $700,000 to maybe $1 million. But if you're looking for the larger single families that are in good condition, renovated, you're probably gonna be looking 1.2 million and much higher. You know, brand new construction in the nicest neighborhoods here can easily hit 5, 6, 7 million. A lot of the pricing, again, depends on the size of the home, the condition, and the neighborhoods, right? Because different neighborhoods here certainly command different prices. It's just the nature of how it works here. For townhouses and condos, kind of similar story. You know, your kind of smaller condos, if you're gonna find maybe like a small, maybe 1-bed condo, you can certainly find them for $400,000 or $500,000. They do exist. But if you're gonna go for larger townhomes, if you're gonna go after like a newer, say 2,500, 3,000 square foot townhome, especially if it's brand new construction, you're probably gonna be spending at least around $1 million, likely 1.1, 1.2, and much higher than that. So hopefully that made sense about the real estate and the pricing here. Of course, if you have specific questions about specific pockets, types of homes, make sure you reach out directly to me. I will definitely help you out about that. But that's kind of the overview about Newton. One last thing I'll say in terms of, if you're thinking about moving here, there's certainly a lot of activity going on here. Newton's continuing to get developed. There's some mega projects going on. The Washington Street corridor is just getting built out right now. There's some mega proposals going on off of Needham Street, in Riverside too. They're gonna feature just huge complexes, both commercial, residential, and retail. So Newton's continuing to grow. There's a lot of development going on here. Again, the area certainly commands it, right? The school systems here, the proximities here, the transportation and conveniences here. So it's all really just built out right for that. So between the proximity to Boston, everything going on here, like I said, it's certainly a great location that will likely continue to expand and continue to be very desirable.